such a time as this.
And welcome back to For Such a Time as This, the place where there is no such thing as a silent witness. As Big Brother continues to squeeze, as the social platforms continue to remove those voices that speak for truth, that speak for God's truth, we want you to visit our webpage, for such a time as this .today, for such a time as this .today, not .com, not .org, .today. As always, you've heard me say, we Christians should be the arbiters of truth. If you do not use truth as your platform by which you preach and teach, then you are not a Christian. You are a hireling. You're a wolf. You are self-deceived. Any Christian who claims to be a Christian must follow truth where it goes. And truth always leads us back to the unwavering truth that the God of the Bible is God, that God was incarnate in flesh. And when Pilate stood before him, he said this. Pilate said to him, "So you are a king?" Jesus answered, "You say that I am a king. For this purpose I was born, and for this purpose I have come into the world, to bear witness to the truth. Everyone," watch this, "everyone who is of the truth listens to my voice." There is a truth that is sweeping through this country. We are becoming more and more decadent in our sexual standards and practices. Evil is no longer hiding. The new evil that's trying to go mainstream after homosexuality and transgenderism, we've called it, we've said it, the new evil that's trying to go mainstream is the evil of pedophilia.
So much for that question. I use the term minor attracted person, or MAP, in the title and throughout the book for multiple reasons. First of all, because I think it's important to use terminology for groups that members of that group want others to use for them. And MAP advocacy groups like Before You Act have advocated for use of the term MAP. They've advocated for it primarily because it's less stigmatizing than other terms like pedophile. A lot of people, when they hear the term pedophile, they automatically assume that it means a sex offender, and that isn't true, and it leads to a lot of misconceptions about attractions toward minors. I've definitely heard the idea that you brought up, though, that the use of the term minor attracted person suggests that it's okay to be attracted to children. But using a term that communicates who someone is attracted to doesn't indicate anything about the morality of that attraction.
Saying you are attracted to a child doesn't bring up the morality. It doesn't say anything about the morality of that attraction. Well, let me say something about the morality of that attraction. Sick. 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 Sick, 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 deranged, sick, evil, warped, abomination. And this thought that we somehow have to adopt and call people what they want to be called because the terms in which we use for them is offensive, so we change it. Sick. 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 I want you to call me a secret borrower, because when I borrow your car, I'm going to keep my identity secret, because I don't like the term thief. Don't call me a thief. Call me a secret borrower. That's stigmatizing. Use the term temporary covenant suspender. Okay? temporary covenant suspender. The covenant of marriage, I want to temporarily suspend that covenant because I don't like the term adulterer. So don't call me an adulterer. Call me a temporary covenant suspender. Sick. Sick. Pedophilia is evil. It is sick, but they're pushing for it to be mainstream. And I remember when Pedophilia was coming down in the gay marriage, I refused to believe that we would accept it as a culture and as a society. I was wrong. When the transgender issue came out and they were arguing that people with male body parts were girls, I said, no one's going to buy. We won't swallow that as a society. Transgenderism will never be accepted as a cultural norm. I was wrong. And now, as sick and perverted that it is, I don't have the heart. From what I've seen in my country in the last several years, I am not convinced that society as a whole won't start using the term MAPS. Why? Because we no longer use the term baby. We start using the term fetus. And now we don't even call boys boys and girls girls because if it hurts their feelings, we call them something we know they're not. And so we call boys girls and girls boys. That's how it begins. And so they're going to start pushing MAPS. Minor attracted person. I am attracted to a minor. Sick. And why the society probably is going down that road. True believers must always stick and stand by the truth. And the truth is, pedophilia was, and always will be sick and an abomination to an almighty God.
For such a time as this,